Wow, welcome back. Thought I'd do a quick video, let you know what I've been up to. Mk2 we haven't been doing too much to. Got some coolant in the engine, which is good. So we've got a new header tank, all the pipe, a few more pipes can go back on, top hose is on there. So we've got some coolant in there. I've done a little vid of putting the coolant in, I'll add that on after. We haven't done too much at the moment because, as you can see, the garage is slightly more brighter. So those of you who've been keeping touch with the rest of the videos, we were going to move house. Not anymore, we're sticking where we are, no problems. So garage had a lick of paint. So we've got nice bright walls, and see just down there on the floor, we've got some floor paint down, which is looking so much better. And the amount of dust, I've been away from home last week, and the car has got literally no dust on it. So the amount of dust that comes off, you wouldn't think breeze block walls and floor is a lot. So happier that's now not dusty as much. I did also buy a Auto Finesse dusting brush. I've done a little video of how good that works. Really nice bit of kit. Best price out there. Not that I'm sponsored in a way, but it was a good bit of kit and a good 10-15 quid cheaper than the rest of them. So plans really, this floor paint takes about 2 days ish to be able to recoat, 7 days to fully cure. So the front part, that's pretty much fully cured now. I've just finished off the back part. I'll show all the before and after pictures of the garage, just if you're interested, something different, see how we work around the place. So ideally we've got most of the floor done now. What we'll have to do is, when the weather brightens up and the horse trailer is a bit shifted around, I can get the Golf out the car, out the garage, do the strip that's in the middle of it, roll the car back over, leave that to dry, and then that'll be the floor done. We've also done a bit more on the bench on the side. Got ourselves a vice. It's not just cars we restore. That vice was in the skip. Stripped it apart, nice bit of paint, lovely jubbly. That's the garage floor paint I've been using. Pretty good stuff. Leyland Specialist Coatings, heavy duty floor paint. It's the Frygate grey colour. About 40 quid a can. Not too bad. Doing the job. So that's the garage. That's the bit I've just done down the back of there. Looking good. I'll need to do the edges by the doors, but what I'll do with that is, once the weather's dry, I'll open the doors, paint it, and then close the doors, and I'll put a bit of wood or something out the front, just to sort of keep it till it starts tacking off. I'll just turn the camera on. So yeah, the floor's looking good. Much better than it was before, and it makes the Golf look even shinier. But again, we've got that down there. Tighten up the place, looks so much brighter with the white around there. Got a few bits of work we want to do to the roof. As you notice, those beams up there, there's a few cracks in the walls, which haven't got any worse since I've redone those, because these were screwed in, believe it or not. If you look back at one of the previous vlogs, one of those actually fell down, nearly hit the car. Luckily I had the plastic sheeting up. So I need to get some big beams, put them lower down, ideally on every other of these, take the weight of the roof, beam across, just to make the roof a bit stronger, because it's about a 5.5 metre wide garage by the same long, so it's quite a low wide roof for that, and I need to sort that bulb out. Keeps going on and off. We'll also get some better lighting in here. Got some cupboards in, lengthened the worktop down. I was going to buy some doorknobs, but I thought I'll just make them out of the old cheapy exhausters that came with the X5 manifold in the other video, so they'll do for good doorknobs. Obviously we've got our turbo from the 9A project. That's bargain. So yeah, I thought I'd give you an update. What I'll do, I'll stick the quick little video of me putting the coolant in there, speaking a bit about coolant. Yeah, and then trying to get hold of a bumper still. Trying to get a genuine front bumper is quite hard to get hold of a good one. So hopefully we should start shifting a few things in a couple of weeks, but everything's slowed down a bit, just to make the workshop a bit nicer for us to do work on the lovely Golf. So thanks for the subscribers, 450 odd now, so that's pretty good. Never thought I'd get much. So any questions, stick them in the comments. See you next time. Well, the engine bay is starting to come together a bit more. Now, for the eagle-eyed viewers, you can see there's a coolant tank in there now, which I'll just start putting some coolant in. So what I thought is to go over some simple coolant things. Now, there's little keyboard warriors out there who will say, you can't use this coolant, you can't use that coolant. I'm using the blue coolant, which is commonly known as blue coolant, because that's what came with the car when it was designed. Now, certain coolants are designed for certain engines. So the blue coolant, or G11 I think what it was designed for cast iron and aluminium engine, which is what this is. Mainly, it doesn't really matter what you're putting in a car. This system is dry. It's been dry for about 3 years, so irrelevant of what coolant I put in there, as long as there's the right mixture, and in the manual it states 50-50, which is 50% pure coolant and then 50% water, ideally deionized water or just normal tap water, depending on what area you live in. If you live in a hard water area, then you want to be using deionized. Easy way to tell if you're in a hard water area. If you look inside your kettle or on the bottom of your taps, if it starts to scale up, a little bit of scale forming, you're probably in a bit of a hard water area. But anyway, so this has got a 50-50 mixture of coolant in there. Hopefully it stays in there and all the pipes are tight, and that's fine. The problems arise is when you have two different types of coolant in the system, e.g. if you've got this coolant in there, the blue G11, and then you put something like G12 in there, which was like the next stage of development for different engines, or G13 and G12 together. That's when you start having problems, because as with all fluids and chemicals, they have different properties in a way. If you have this coolant and I mix that with the latest G13 or the G12, you're likely to have two chemicals inside the blue coolant and the purple coolant, for instance. They'll congeal and turn into a gel, and that gel will block up your thermostat straight away. It will start blocking up parts of your radiator, because the radiator is only thin when it goes inside, so it can easily block those up. And when you see people about, again, keyboard warriors saying, "Oh, I've drained the system, I've got all this red congealed stuff in my system, like, and leaking out pipes," that's purely because it's mixed with a different coolant and it's congealing itself because the chemicals aren't mixing properly. So, simple way, if you want to change your coolant or top up your coolant, or if you're doing your water pump, just flush the system out. So if I was flushing this system out, I'd drain all that coolant out, bottom hose off, drain it all out, put the hose back on, fill the coolant system up as per manual and the high and low reading on the header tank, run the engine up to working temperature, turn it off, let it cool down for 5 minutes, release the pressure by taking the cap off the header tank carefully. Once the pressure is released, and if you can hold your hand on one of the radiator pipes, e.g. top hose or the bottom one, if you can hold your hand on there and not have to remove your hand because it's hurting, burning, whatever, drain the coolant out, let it all drain out, and depending on what colour your coolant comes out is whether you need to do another flush. So if it comes out pure water, what you just put in, the system's going to be empty, so you can go ahead and put in a new type of coolant, whichever one you're going to go for. If you drain it out and you've still got a pinky mixture in there, or whatever colour it is, repeat the process again, fill it with water, run it at working temperature. You're doing it to working temperature because you want the engine warmed up, so the thermostat fully open, so the system can get a complete flush through. And once you're happy with that, fill up the coolant. Now, coolant should be changed every 2 years, generally, because again, just like coolant and engine oil, there's all different properties and chemicals inside which break down. So the chemicals inside the coolant, which help it stop the engine overheating, stop it water freezing, all that sort of good stuff, they'll break down over time. So that's why you should change it every 2 years. Same as your oil. Your oil goes through so many heat cycles, the chemicals, properties in it break down, and it stops doing its job. So we've got a header tank on, the long coolant part of the radiator, we've got the top radiator hose on. So I'm just going to top up with coolant, let that filter down the system. I've put 3 litres of pure coolant in there, so I've just got to do, well, 3 and a bit litres. It's 6.3 litres is the system capacity, so I put just over 3 litres, 3.1, whatever it is. I'll let that filter down, then I'll put another 3 litres of water in. I'll be using normal water because we don't really live in a hard water area. And again, I wouldn't get too fussed on the deionized water. It's just if you're being really sort of perfectionist pernickety, but like I say, that coolant will come out in 2 years' time and it won't cause any problems. So that's that. We've got a few things, hopefully picking up a bumper this week, which will be, that'll be the front end looking more like a front end. So as you've noticed, the car's getting a bit dusty, so I thought I'd get one of these dust buddies. This is a Auto Finesse dust buddy. It says brush the dust off and see how nice it comes up. Well, that does the job. Clings on quite nicely. It's even got the bits on the bonnet edges around there. Already gripped onto all the bits of dust. So, good purchase that was.